Let's talk about missions. Let's walk you through what God is doing in our ministry. Journey with us to the mission fields. Allow us saturate your mind and hearts. Get up and close with our close to 2,000 missionaries serving in over 1,600 mission fields in 19 countries across the world. Let us share with you the challenges we face and the victories we've made through the power of God. Let us take you inside EMS.
Well, to God be the glory. I'm by name Reverend Andrew Yusuf Kwana. Born in Kano, Tofa Bible College. Brought up also there, Tofa. And from there, after 12 years, my father was transferred to Gombe, where he finished his service because he's an Equa pastor, happens to be the first Tangale DCC Education Secretary.
I'm by name Faith Andrew, born in Gombe State, from the family of 7. I'm the last daughter in the family, but I grew up in Kaduna State with my elder brother.
So, privileged to have a good parental care. At the same time, the experience I gathered from my father's places of assignment that encouraged me much. And I thank God because based on God's plan in my life, I'm seeing the reality and the achievement of it coming through the grace of God. Yeah.
Meeting up with my husband, well, it's not an accident per se, or will I say it's the will of God, because we met with him through the brother when his dad was operated in Jankwano. So by me going there to visit them, that's when the mom saw me, because back then he's already in Benue State, in his station there working in Benue State. So I normally go there in the morning, I will carry breakfast for them, come back in the afternoon, I will prepare lunch. So me going there, I don't know, the mom started talking to the brother. I don't know, asking him whether there is anything going on between me and the brother. And the brother said no. Then from there, the mom started saying, your brother need wife. So from that case, we need to connect them together, something like that. So that's how we met with my husband.
Actually, when I was in secondary school, as an Equa pastor's son, if you ask me whether I would like to become an Equa employee or work with EMS, in fact, I will fight with you until the last of my strength. Why? Because the experience I got during my dad's assignment with Equa traumatized me seriously. Actually, my father, remember in some certain place, he would work for 2 years without even receiving a salary. So we were brought up in a very scandalous situations. So life became somehow miserable to us. So from there, I look at pastoral ministry or EMS work to say, hasn't worked, that is not favorable, that is not even fit for me. So from there I blocked my mind from anything that has to do with echo and other things. But it got to a point because you cannot run away, just as we have seen in the life of Moses. When God was to use him, God had to drive him out of his comfort zone, for him to be nurtured by God, by solitude there in the desert of Midian. From there, he was able to get his wife and all that. He spent 40 years in the desert, God nurturing him. And I call that a school of God in the desert or in the wilderness. So when God wants to use you in any aspect of life, he has a way in order to turn your mind. So when I finished secondary school, I was privileged to go to Kano. From there, I got admission there in Kano. Studying banking and finance in Bayero University. But from there, a lot of things happened along the line that had to relocate me back home. So it's a long story because my brother immediately on that they followed me. Some miserable things happened that led me to quit from my academic journey there in Kano. I went back to where my father served as his last stationed before retiring there in a place called Kulkul, that Bilduri local government. So when they're just a woman, she's late now. She called me and say, Andrew, I say yes. She said, take this 30,000, go to seminary. I say, Mom, how? What? Why? Why did you say? And before then, even there was a time that my father asked me to preach in the church. And that very night I was making meditation, I just saw myself preaching to the white people, the large congregation. And I shared that testimony in that church, Kulkult. I shared it. So there, after that one, she said, go to seminary, take this, go and buy form, register it. I say, how now, Mommy? Have I shared it to you that I want to become a pastor? Look at my dad, he's retiring next year, and even a single room where he would pack in as his own place, you don't have. And you're asking me to join this kind of work? No. But because, there will be no way you will run from the presence of God once if God wants to use you. So from there, I collected it and I shared it to my dad. He said, yes, prepare, let's go. Let's go to Kufai Bilduri. Then we went to purchase it from that very day. Everything, we finished everything. I came back. The very day I was to leave to school, my brother also, he lied down in front of the door that I'm not going to the seminary. Why would I? He cried bitterly that very day that I'm not, without knowing that he had a wrong intention deep inside of me, because, the issue of some miserable things occurred there and some other things. It was later on, then the thing got revealed. So, and I thank God really from there. She saw something, the mama saw something deep inside of me. And I appreciate her for revealing it and bringing it out. And after finishing there, my mentor, the late, may his soul rest in peace, Reverend Dr. Simon Ibrahim, he said, go to I don't want you to work with DCC, go to EMS if you want to serve God. And from there I got convinced, definitely. So I said I will work for God, and I went for an interview. Recommended me to meet his region. I received a call from Adamu Duse, Reverend Adamu Duse, that you are needed in Makodi DCC. I said, Makodi DCC, yes. What am I going to do? I said, oh, I'm not going to carry anything except my few clothes. I didn't even carry a mattress, nothing like that. I said, maybe they will go and place me under a tree. So if I carry all these things, they are going to be a liability, a problem to me. I will not be flexible, all that. I just carry my few clothes inside my bag, and then some books, I put them inside, without even sharing it to people that this is how it is. They didn't send me transportation. I looked for transportation. Then I go and join them there in Makodi. From there they took me to my station. And I thank God that is how the journey started till where we are today.
You will feel happy when you end up being with someone that you love. Even though I knew the work that he's doing is not an easy one, but because I love him, and I'm somehow trusting God that yes, because I love him, I believe any challenges that may come on my way, I can overcome it. So that continue pushing me, and with him by my side, I think I can do everything with God that strengthened me. Then I can remember among the pastors that was trying to convince me to marry them back then, I refused. After our marriage, I will not forget one of the pastors, he worked in a DCC in Gombe. I can remember one of them called me, he was like mocking me. So you end up marrying an EMS pastor. When he tell me that you cannot marry ECWA pastor. Now it's not even a DCC pastor that you marry. It's an EMS pastor. Then I can remember my response to him, and I'll tell him that pastor is a pastor, whether EMS or DCC pastor. To me, it's all the same. Maybe back then I didn't agree to marry you because maybe the love is not there. I didn't feel anything for you. But this is the man that I feel something for him. So that's why I married him, and I stood by him. Then he now tell me, how much is the salary? Then I now tell him, don't worry. Wait, if I call you that you should help me with any cash, then you can now complain to me. Immediately I say that to him, now off his phone. So truly it's not easy to marry an EMS pastor. But when you trust with what God can do, there is no room for you to be disturbed, because with God all things are possible. So this is what I've been continuing encouraging me, and I trust what God can do more in our life. The first day that I met with my husband, I won't forget. It was a Christmas day. He left his place of assignment, that is Benue State, Otubo, to Gombe, so that we can meet to see each other. And that very day, on Christmas Day, you know, everybody dress neat, you appear good. So when he come to my place from Gombe, I'm from Billiri local government. From Billiri, I'm in Kalme community. So he called me that, okay, I'll be coming. Then I now tell him, okay, we just closed from our service now. And I say, okay, we'll be on his way. I say, okay, I'll be waiting. So when he called me, I come out. Then I now tell him there is a shop on the main road. When you come, stop there. Then me, I will come outside and I will meet you there. I come outside. Definitely, I saw someone standing, but the clothes that he was wearing, it's like it's from farm. The trouser here, tear, the shirt, somehow, you know, and it was on Christmas Day. So I now dialed the number again for me to confirm. When I dialed the number, I saw him remove his phone inside his pocket. Then, and I said, this is the man I'm here to meet. Then, why is he dressed like this? When I come close to him, then I now ask him, are you from home or you are from somewhere? He tell me that he's coming from home. Then I now tell him, why are you dressed like this? He didn't go to church. He didn't say anything. Then from there, I said, oh, wow. We come home with him, but I'm not free. Bringing him home, see my brothers, my sisters, I was like, I'm not free. Because the clothes he was wearing is not, you know, it's not the one that I'm expecting to see in him, even though it's a Christmas day. Then I tell my sister, this is the pastor that called me, but I don't know why he dressed like this. Then my sister and I say, no problem, tell him to enter. Tell him enter inside. From there, when I asked him, why did you dress like this? When he is about to go. Then he tell me, I just want to show you to you who I am. I don't want to pretend to you. So that tomorrow you will not be thinking as if I have money or this or that. Then I now tell him, okay, thank you for coming.
Last year, October 6th, was a day that we left to Mali And before we depart from Nigeria, there was a lot of things. People were coming to see you. It's like your parents don't want you. They are now sacrificing you to this Islamic country, to a terrorist place. Even a very day at my home church, pastors prayed with the coming together of the head office. Admin was there. Some women cried. They say, these people, they handed them over to the terrorists. It's like the parents don't like them. You know, the assumptions on people, you know, is Mali. If you are going to Mali as a missionary, you are going to a dens of lions. You are going to a dens of lions. But upon all this discouragement, I thank God, I thank my wife. She stood by me. We said, if we perish, we perish. It's better for us to perish obeying God, just as we heard from the testimonies of the three Equa founders' fathers. If we perish, we perish. Let's go. Let's go, my wife. And we went with faith. So, you know, arriving there, actually, we were faced with some scandal things. You know, the language, this is a francophone country where we don't know how to speak French, and also the local languages, we are not familiar with it. So my wife, how are we going to do? The first time, you know, we acted like a goat. We acted foolishly, like deaf and dumb. We will go to the shop. This. We don't know the name. We will point. Give us this. Give us this. What now? Give us this. The price. My wife will bring food. And they will do. Why? And these people, they hear. But we don't want to reveal. Number one, you know, once if you attract people when you don't understand, speak the language. You attract people, and if you are the type that is social, you know, you lack courage. You lack courage. So, but from there, I said, my wife, it's better for us to take the bull by the horn. Let's do it. We'll go to the shop. Give us the. I will see. Right. I will browse my phone. What's the name of rice in French? I will get it. I'll go. Give me this. Even though I will not pronounce it the way, but they will understand. So we are faced with this thing. And then another way, I'm thank God really, because, you know, once if the hands of God is in what you are doing, no matter what the enemy will do, you will triumph over the enemy. So we thank God. Since the very day we step into Mali till now, as I'm sharing it to you, we have never encountered any trouble from the people. Actually, we never encountered trouble from the people, and this is because God has gone ahead of us, and we have confidence that what He started doing in our lives, even from here in Nigeria down to Mali, He will bring it to accomplishment, and that is even our desire. I think I am the second missionary to be sent there to Mali. As it is, on our arrival, actually, there was no any record of a member, seriously, only a fellow, a co-worker in the Banyan who happens even to come to Nigeria and study theology, and he went back. So it is the current situation that I found that time. It was only I and him, two families, were no members, and then we tried to see how we would start worshiping, because I met him going to another different denomination worshiping. I said, see my brother, we can't continue that way. I think I and your family will become a church, so it's better for us to start. And he said, well, it's going to be dangerous for us, because where we are living, the landlady may not accept us worshiping in our apartment, and that will attract some other money to be paid to her. So I say, my brother, let's trust God. We started it. First Sunday, second Sunday, we received a warning word from her that she don't want us to continue worshiping there in our apartment. It's better for us to go and look for a different place. And through the help of God, we prayed over it. And later on, she came with another principles that, well, if we want to continue worshiping in the parlor, we shouldn't make noise. We shouldn't make noise. We shouldn't sing songs. we should just pray. We should pray just in a lower tune. So from there we accepted. We said there is nothing we can do because we don't have any alternative. We don't have any alternative. If definitely we want to continue worshiping in my fallow, we must follow her rules. So we accepted until that is where we are. Started, I and him, and to the glory of God, we were able to record two converts from Muslim background, pure Muslim. So we record two converts. To God be the glory. This is how God started doing his work, because it's not our own work. He's just using us. He can do without us. So that is how it is.
On our journey to Mali, I didn't find it easy. I struggled within me. But with time, and I put it into prayer, God really helped me. I say, yes, I've already answered to this call. So that means anywhere they send us to go, I'll be ready to go. Then with that, I encouraged myself. We went to Mali. My arriving in Mali, wow, it was not a good one, Sha. Let me put it in that way. It was not a good one, because we arrived in Mali 2 days after. A wife of our new combat, he said before, they was here in Nigeria. They studied here in Nigeria in Jet. So they go back to their country. So the wife, she can understand English small. So she was going to market. Then I was like, okay, let's go together so that I can go and see the market, see the environment. We went to market, me and I was trying to check the environment. And I'm strong. But reaching to the market, somehow I collapsed, which is I cannot be able to walk again. They have to look for bike to carry me back home, which is they call a nurse, she take care of me. That's fast. By God's grace, God helped me. After 2 days, I'm strong again. 2 weeks after, we went to the same market with her. The same incident happened. This time around, I did not collapse, but I hear something caught me here. It caught the wrapper that I was tying it, because I wear something inside to my skin. I feel the pain, then turning to see, I saw blood going down. Then I was like, and now call her, I say, wait, come, something is wrong with me. Then when she come, Mommy, what is happening? I say, see my leg, I don't know what caught me again. Then she was like, what happened now? It's like these Mali people, they like you. What happened to you? I said, I don't know. Then she now tell me, can I walk? I tell her yes. But what about the wrapper and the blood? We find another way to take care of that. And then I find a place to sit down. I rest. After I rest, we went home. When I went home, I tell my husband, I say, wait, with all this incident that is happening, what can you say about all this that is happening? To me, I see it, yes. The demons knew that, yes, we have arrived in Mali. And our arrival in Mali, we are there to fight them. So they are not happy. They are not happy seeing us arriving in Mali, because definitely they know we are there to fight their kingdom. And I tell him we have to be serious. We have to tell God, God, we have come. Since this is your call, you call us to come to Mali, and we answer this call. We put it into prayer. I can remember we do 2 weeks fasting and prayer. After then, we continue normal life in Mali. Though finding myself in Mali, different culture, different foods, even the way of their communication is problem. Well, that one alone is a shock. Because even when we want to buy something like Daddy said, we have to pretend as if we are them up and down. We have to be touching the things with our hand. Then we will ask them through calculator how much. They will tell us it was not an easy one. But Mali people, they are good. they are nice people, especially the Muslims. They are good people, but their culture is not an easy one. Communication is now our problem, because how to reach to them? If that brother is not there to communicate with them, it's not easy, because they have French, they have their local language, which is Bambara. So we have two dialects to learn. And most of the women, they normally speak their local language, not French, because most of them, they are not educated. So it was not an easy one. To me, I use children. I gather children through school by teaching them English. So by me drawing the children to our house to teach them, that's now I make the parents to come and see what their children used to come to this house always to do, especially the wives. So I use that time to be able to talk to the parent through the other wife of our missionary that they are indigent there. So I use that opportunity to reach to the parent there, because even the children, when they come, they are ready to learn. They are ready to learn English, but sometimes the parents will not release them. Sometimes the children will not be free to come. But when I started it, it was not easy. But before we even travel coming back to Nigeria, God is helping us. They are now releasing the children to come. I use that time to teach them English, and I use that media again to teach them Bible study. I use Bible quiz with the children. So that one is really helping me a lot. And I'm trying to learn their local language, because most of the women speak the local language there.
Mali, of course, is an opened country. But you see, and purely the country is 95% of the population of Mali are Muslims. So you can see how stressful and fearful it is for one to find himself in such a country. It needs a boldness. Sometimes this is a Christian house. You can't see another Christian house until maybe you travel like 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers before you see another Christian brother or Christian family. So the evangelism or the work there is purely on Muslims. And there is nothing we call the sheep stealing in Mali. For you to grow your church, you go sheep stealing, you bring some other church members. No, never done that way. So we are into it, and definitely, as we are facing the challenge in regard to the language, but we are trusting God that the brother who is there, Pastor Hamidu Giru, he's helping us. Sometimes we go out with him. I will be speaking English, and he will be translating it into their local language, where they will understand it. So they open their mind, more especially those who are around us, our neighbors. Most of them are Muslims. We invite them to our house. They come, because for you to invite a Muslim man to come to your house and eat food, that means he's ever ready for you. So God has helped us in meriting their love. And to step into a house, eat food, sit down, crack jokes with my wife, and do some other things. But we try to avoid some of the things that they don't want, because we shouldn't violate their freedom they have given to us. Yes. So we have challenges of place of worship. Choir bought land for the past 3 to 4 years. There is this land there with a structure, but the land was bought for school, that to build a school there. And even the school we have started with small children. That's what my wife started doing now. The small children, they will come together. She will teach them English and have jokes with them. So it's another way we are using in reaching to them. So the building is up to the lintel level, and we cry definitely so that the work started will be accomplished, because that will definitely give us opportunity to reach to them much. Because for now, if you don't have any concrete things doing it, they will look as if you are here in order to defraud them. But having that school will engage us so much, into the mission work, and it's going to be an avenue where we can be able to reach to them. So the building has reached rental level, and we are trusting God for the funds, and even the house we are staying, the rent is much. We ask that even if you can be able to build at least 3 single rooms that we can manage, because we are not in our country, we are not there for enjoyment. Paying huge amount of money for house rent, I look at it, my wife even cried bitterly over it. That is better for us to have, because the family, you don't have a big family. We can manage in the church land, just in order to be able to plan very well. So, as I've said earlier, if we can be able to have like a 3 classrooms built in our permanent sites, because the place is already fenced, and the place is in a strategic place, the heart of the town, very close to the market. We share boundary with the market. So at least if you can have 3 rooms built in the land there, it can help us so much. It can help us to move with our school project and the arrangement, and that will help us so much to reach to them. Secondly, the church. Actually, we need the church to be built there, so that the church has been in existence there, but because of 1 or 2 things that led to some issues, it stopped along the way. But if you can get it done now, we'll appreciate God, because for now they said they disposed this land to religious organizations, but up till now they didn't develop the place. They are now mocking at us. They are mocking at us, saying, see these people, this land was disposed to them for the past 3 to 4 years, and yet they didn't finish anything. So it's becoming just a mockery, to the body of Christ. But we have confidence that what God has started doing, we will definitely bring it to accomplishment. That is how I believe. Yeah. So in these 2 areas, school, building church, these are where we are reaching to them. That is the medium in which we are reaching to them. Yes. So we call on the attention of those who want to sow seed, those who want to be part of this movement, to definitely trust in what God is doing, to definitely be part of this journey, because we have seen a great opportunity. But then, without people supporting us, we will not be able to achieve it definitely. Even though I believe that God's work done in God's way never lack God's resources. So even with the absence of the cash, the less cash that we are facing, I still have belief, I still have confidence that all the privileges, the opportunities we have seen there will definitely bring it to accomplishment. And that is always what I normally tell my wife. I say, shouldn't worry, it's a matter of time, and I know that God will do it. So for those who want to really come into it, we called that they should please come into this kingdom building for the glory of God's name.
So I may need help from individually to help me to be able to have those things that I will need to teach the children, and especially the women. Most of them, they are not working, they are not doing anything. no business. So I think by me trying to do one of two things in their life will help them to achieve it. Just like in this program, we learn how to make soap, we learn how to make cream. So if I go back, I may try to organize them, to teach them those things. And I will need some money to buy the chemicals, how I can be able to make the soap for them. Because when I teach them those things, it's going to help them a lot in their homes.
Wow, wow, what a great privilege for me to be part of this this program. Definitely the grace message, you know, it has changed my perspectives entirely, completely. It has changed the way I see things. You see, in a nutshell, you know, God loves us. We are not the one that love him. He loved us. And having seen it in the life of Abraham, the journey that Abraham went through, all happens because of the grace of God. God was patient with Abraham, with the obstacles, with the up and down of Abraham. God was so patient until the eyes of Abraham got opened. He was able to see the grace of God everywhere. Then he believed in God. So that is how we are. We are not the one that change people. We are not the one that force people to receive Jesus Christ as their Lord and personal Savior. This is the work of the Holy Spirit, and it is the work of God. And he prepared it. It is destined even before the creation of the world. And that is the grace message. And that is all about the grace of God. Yes. And then for the VCI, already, you know, most of my people call me Kwana. And they call me Kwana not because of anything. Because the way, you know, this is white, but I may tell you that this is black, just in order to see how you react over it. Just for me to be able to see how you will be able to define to me clearly that this is white. So you know, when the teaching started going on, you know, I turn and look at my wife. She said, I know she now do something like this to me. Why? Because it got to a point where he says, many of us today, we married, we copied what people are doing. My marriage, I intended to do it in a very easier and simple way. We have finished arrangement with Reverend Dr. Simon Ibrahim the late. I said in my father's parlor, 3 people, he will come and pray for us. But my wife relatives said, no, it has never happened in their family. This is and not because of anything. I was running away from cost, from expenses, because I know my position. And I'm not ready to do something that somebody will praise me and say, this is yours. No matter how I will spend in my wedding, it will never be number 1. No matter how poorest my wedding will be, it will never be the last. So I have that perspective. I want to live a life that I will not regret. I want to live a life where that I will not be a burden to somebody and somebody will not be a burden to me. So when the teaching started flowing, I told my wife, say, I know. And up to now, you are regretting about that course incident that happened. She said how she wish she could have followed my own. Even after everything, she said, hi, I could have followed your own motives. So you see, the VCI now have changed completely my perspective. And I thank God because now my wife happens to be part of the program. She was able to hear it. Sometime there in Mali, because of the expenses, she will send me to market. I will go. But because when I look that this thing is not important, I will come back and say, Madam, I didn't see it in the market. And she will say, no, this thing. I say, nothing, no. But not because of anything. I win. I say, if I spend all the money on this thing, then what? The future will speak to us. How is it going to be? Now I'm just ethical and say, my wife, in fact, I didn't get this thing in the market. And you know, now she understands that there are some things that you will go for it. There are some things that are not necessary. This life is a very simple things that of which if you keep to it, you can live peacefully. And you know, this has opened our mind that we can also reach to some other persons. But one discouragement that, you know, how I wish the way I wanted to do my wedding goes that way. I could have used it as a tool and say, see, my wedding, this is how I did my wedding. Only 3 persons, Reverend prayed for me, this and that, and it's accepted before God. You don't have to go all these things. There is no any clear way, biblically, the way that you will do. Highest once. If the family of your wife agree to give you a wife, that's all. You finish everything, that's all. It doesn't matter under a tree, you do it nothing. It cannot change anything. So from there, I say, I thank God for this teaching. And I thank God my wife is here. Because sometimes, African man will be afraid that what will people say? What will people say? That is what is troubling us. If I didn't do this, what will people say? And I am the type, no, I don't care. Once I would like to do something that will make me to be happy, I will not do anything that will make me to be disturbed. If I wear a short knicker, I want to wear it as far as it will not be against the will of God or whatsoever things. I will wear it. My wife will say, what will people say? I say, people, I am living my life, not because of people. So this visit, I really have changed it has increased more. It has added more volume to the way I look at things and the way I want even my community, my relatives, my people to live, actually. Yes.
Wow, this program, this VCI teaching, wow. It has really helped me personally a lot. Because there is some things before, it is something, let me apply it to myself. I need this, and I need it in any way. That I will tell my husband, this is what I need. Sometimes he will complain to me, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. But this training really opened my eyes. There are some things that I may see is not necessary for me to have it. So that has really helped me. And in the aspect of keeping our environment clean, well, to me, I can say that I'm very good in keeping my environment very clean. So what I will do if I go back, because even before I travel to come for this program, those women, this is one of the things that I used to use again to reach to them. When you go to their houses, the environment is not clean. You enter their kitchen, even if they give you water, you will not even be able to take it because everywhere is dirty. So these teachings will really help me to be able to teach them how to keep their environment clean and how to have a clean water to drink. I think this will help me a lot if I go back.
My name is Jae-hyuk Lee. So I'm from South Korea. I want to be missionary. So when I was young, I able to go some different countries in mainly Asia. So like Nepal, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, even Afghanistan, and Uganda, and South Africa. And from that experience, I felt I should go Africa. And then I able to join to SIM. And then when I pray for where I should go, I felt I want to working in mission hospital. So after that, I discussed with options with the SIM, and then they recommend Nigeria, Bingham University Teaching Hospital. So I come to Nigeria 2010, August. So with my wife and my 2 boys. So my one boy was 6 years old, another boy was 3 years old. So, and first we realized there is problem with water and electricity. In Korea, I never thinking about those problems. Water always there, electricity always there. So I never thinking about there is problem with water and electricity. And after I come to Nigeria, I found, oh, water, electricity is very important. Another thing is security. So as you know that 2010, that Christmas Eve, the Boko Haram start using bomb to kill the people near Gaddafi. So that time I was so busy to help the people. I always interested with water issues because in Nigeria, you know, as the doctor who are working in the theater, many of my patients is children who come with typhoid. And then I was so overwhelmed by that seriousness with the typhoid. And problem is, if I do operation, I hope it's getting better. But many of them, they got another problem. So I have to go second operation. And then some of them got another problem. I go another operation. And then some of them eventually die. I have a heart with the families and people who are in ministries. And when I see the EMS missionaries, especially when they are working in the very rural area with nothing, really nothing. It's just so kind of touch my heart. So I cannot help everything with their challenge because it's too much. But I pray God, at least water. At least if I can able to them free from the typhoid, I will praise the Lord. For EMS missionaries, up to now we able to give the filter for 750 families. So almost half of EMS family, they got this filter. And we got positive feedback. They said now their stomach pain is stopped and their children is no more, they cry for the pain and typhoid. So such is a good testimony. I really pray for EMS missionaries, and I'm so proud with the EMS missionaries. And only God knows what you are doing, and only God knows what your children are going through, and God will bless you.
So I was challenged for mission. So as you are looking for the mission field, so one of SI missionaries who was in our church advised us to come to Nigeria. So he recommended us Nigeria. We began to pray, and God gave me the peace. So we decided to come to Nigeria.
When I heard about, the possibility of coming to Nigeria, I have only one sister, and my parents didn't want me to go so far away, and that's the end of the world. So I didn't have a peace. But as we were praying for 2 weeks, God gave us peace.
SIM requested us to study English first. we stayed in UK for 1 year to study the language course, English. That is in 1990, February we started. We stayed there full year, 1 year, to learn English. And then returned to Nigeria, 1991 February. So when we arrived in Kano at that time, there is no airport in Abuja. As we opened this one, like some steam is coming. February, so hot. That is still I get the memory.
Yeah, we were feeling like we are entering some fireplace. It was so hot, so dry and hot. And then when we went to see our Bible college where we are going to work, and we saw some little children, we said hi, and they all ran away from us. It was shocking. Why are they running away from us? But then later, the people there were explaining that, they were afraid of seeing us. So that was our first days.
So many children of students have never seen Baturia in their life. So that's why they cry out, ran away.
During our teaching time at Biliri, he was leading discipleship group every day after school was done. With 16 students, he was having at least 1.5 hours every day. And the weekends, he would take students to villages for evangelism. From there, we got to know about EMS. We never heard about EMS, although we are working as an SI missionary for EMS. We never heard, that time we didn't know about EMS. One time, I asked the Lord, look at the cemetery in SM Cemetery in Miango. They are all either adults or babies. There is no teenager. Hyojin is the only teenager. Why do you have to do this? There are no SM missionaries who buried their teenage children. Why it has to us? I asked. And then the Lord answered to me, why do you have to identify with SI missionaries? Can't you identify with EMS missionaries? Look how many times that they are losing their children. So the Lord was answering to me with many, many different answers. So I remember. So when we see EMS missionaries, we know how much suffering they are going through. Often they don't have schools to send their children. They have a very small salaries, and they have to struggle to feed themselves. And there are many dangers, crises, persecutions. And to work with EMS missionaries, God had to give us this pain that we can identify with them.